Hello my fellow geeks, I'm Mark, and today on Elite Geek we're going to do a video. It's been a while, so I'm probably going to be a little rusty, but we're going to help Troll Surgeon here on Reddit. He has a Frozen Sonic Mini 4K. I have one of those now. He went to go print and he's getting an unknown file format. He didn't leave a lot of details here. I've seen a lot of these kind of posts recently, and it's usually because they went to Chitubox 1.9 released. A lot of people have updated to it. When you launch Chitubox, it says, hey, there's a new version. You want to update? Sure, you go ahead and do that. And what they don't do is read the release notes and see all the new features that came between this. This should have almost been a new version because there's one little line right here that says some features only work on printers using the CTB format, which the Frozen does, the Elegoo I think does, the EPAX does, everything with a Chitu hardware system in it. And to ensure maximum compatibility, you may have to update your printer firmware. And really, that's it. You need to update your printer firmware. And then this problem here I'm sure this problem for Troll Surgeon will go away. As I mentioned, I have a Frozen Sonic Mini 4K. I've been printing on it a long time. And then I updated to 1.9 and suddenly I got the same problem, the unknown file format. So Chitubox makes this pretty easy. So Chitubox is the software portion of the Chitu Systems company. This is the website for Chitu Systems, which will make a lot of the components you recognize. They make the hardware that goes into a lot of our printers. So they have the controller boards and the screens and all kinds of things for many of the printers that we have out there. So one person I'm going to say that I had a discussion with thought it was ridiculous that Chitubox would make a file format that didn't work with their hardware, and it's simply not true. They even put it here in the highlights. We have a learn more. It goes to the software package, and then you'll find minimum supported firmware versions. They're all listed right here with the minimum versions for your printer that are supported. Now, if you upgraded your own and you bought just a Chitu board that you put in yourself, under support here, there's also a firmware download, so you may have to go and download your firmware here. What I'm going to do in this process, I have already upgraded the firmware on my Mini 4K. I'm going to upgrade the firmware on my Mighty 4K, which I also have. I am already at the minimum firmware version. It does recognize, but I'm going to go and do an upgrade anyway, just for you guys. So on the download page, as I mentioned here, we have the basic, where this is not necessary for the Pro. Right down here, it'll probably have your printer listed. If it's not listed, go to the chitusystems.com. I'll have links for all this in the description, and find the hardware that's in yours. You may have to check with the manufacturer if you don't have one of them that are listed here. But I have the Frozen Sonic Mighty 4K. I'm just going to download, and they conveniently put all the downloads right here. I was going to say you could also go to your manufacturer's website, but honestly, on here I can't find the firmware. But that doesn't matter because Chitubox made it easy for us. They took care of having all of the needed versions there. Now what I've done is I've gone ahead and copied the file that it downloaded to my USB stick. This is the USB stick that I usually use in the printer. I have just a couple files on here. I am going to make, just to keep this clean, a new folder and move these two files here so I have a clean root of the folder. You'll notice this is a .rar file. You may not be able to open this file depending on your computer. .rar is a zip file format, but not all zip programs will use it. Will be able to open it. I use a program called 7-zip that you can use. I'll link that down below. It's free, I think. I'm pretty sure. I use it. I've never paid for it. So I will right click it once the 7-zip is installed. And I've used 7-zip for, gosh, I don't know, 20 years or something, forever. So I think it's safe. And I'm going to extract here. I want all of the files from this RAR file in the root of the folder here. Now, there's an instruction here on how to reflash. Basically, unzip the file, put it in the root, plug it in, and power on the unit. It will auto-update, wait till it reboots, and then the first page after the beep. Then turn it off and take out the stick. So, we are going to do that. I've already extracted this onto my USB stick, so now we will go and upgrade it. Okay, so this is my Mighty 4K. Here's my Mini 4K that I already updated. Here's the USB stick that we just copied the files onto. We're gonna just slide it in there, hit the power on the back, take a listen. That sounds bad, but that's what it's supposed to do. So here you can actually see on the screen updating. It goes through multiple files here. You just kind of have to wait. I'm going to speed this up because you don't want to watch that. So the power takes effect after power is restored, so we will confirm. There we go. So what I'm going to do is turn the power off, take the USB stick out so it doesn't try and update again, turn it back on. What I failed to do was to show you the previous version, but now we're going to be on, yeah, I thought I messed it up. I was on like 4.3.16 before, now I'm on 4.4.3, so that is the version that was on this USB stick. One thing I did notice, I turn off the volume, the beeping on my printer, so it does re-enable it when the firmware is upgraded, so I'm going to turn that back off. That was under the info button, and now we are ready to go. I don't have a stick in there so it doesn't see any files, but it will be able to see all of the files for you. Okay, so now back on my computer here, I'm just going to delete all of these. Yes. And then I've got my folder files here. I'm going to move them back to the root. And now I'll be able to access these files and they will print just fine. Like I mentioned, it wasn't actually a problem on my Mighty. I couldn't show you the error, but it was on my Mini. So I had to do this on my other printer. I went ahead and updated it here and everything looks good. Now this video isn't about all this new stuff and why they did this. I will link this page down below if you want to read it. And maybe if people are really interested, I'll do a video in what is new in 1.9. But as a real quick summary, this video shows you what it does. It basically it slows down the printing, but it gives it more resting time, which will improve your prints. Things will, without any light off delay, will just go up, and then the now will actually rest before it lifts up, and then it will lift slower and accelerate as it goes. There's lots of options for that. But if you found this useful, leave a like and a comment down below. I actually have a whole series of stuff I wanted to do that I haven't gotten to do yet, so I'm going to work on this and get some more stuff done, including like reviewing those frozen printers in there that now are my main printers, just as a spoiler. But until next time, remember, if you're going to be a geek, be an elite geek.
So now you have a glimpse of me. Think of this as a disclaimer before I claim you mine, for you'll find my flaws outweigh my talents any day. But if you're alright with that, we should be fine.